Good afternoon, everybody. Today I am going to be making a cheesy hamburger rice casserole. This is going to be started on the stove, and then it's going to be transferred to a baking pan and baked at 350. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a pound of hamburger meat. You're going to need a cup of uncooked rice. I use the seasoning blend, but if you're going to use just an onion, I would say one small onion. You're going to need a can of cream of mushroom soup, a can of beef or chicken broth. I didn't have beef broth, so I'm using chicken broth. It's just to help kind of cook the rice, so it's okay. I'm gonna have garlic powder, salt, pepper, and my crazy mixed up salt for seasonings. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna brown our hamburger meat with our seasoning blend, our salt, pepper, seasoning, things like that. So let me get this in the pan and we will go from there. Okay, I got my hamburger meat in the pot. It was slightly frozen, but that's okay. You just start cooking it that way, or at least I do. So I'm going to be putting in, like I said, either one small onion or, about a cup and a half of seasoning blend. And then I'm going to be putting some crazy mixed up salts in here. This is just a good seasoning blend I use with a lot of different things. And then we're going to sprinkle salt over the top. Pepper, and if you've watched me more than a minute, then you know I don't really measure things out. I kind of like sprinkle until it covers the top. And then I'm going to put some garlic powder in here. All right. So we're going to cook this, get this cooked down on high. Once this is cooked, we'll start adding in our other ingredients. Okay, once your meat is browned and as you can see your vegetables are getting clear, you're going to go ahead and you're going to add in your mushroom gravy. Mushroom soup, sorry. And then you're going to add in your beef or chicken broth. And you're going to need 2 cups. The can is actually like right below 2 cups, so I did add a little bit of water to make up the difference for that. And then I do it this way so that I can get all the soup out. This stirred in, and then we're going to put our rice in, and we're going to put this on simmer, and we're just going to simmer it 5 minutes, and then we're going to put it in our greased pan, a 9x13 pan, cover it with aluminum foil, and put it in the oven. So let me just get all this mixed in, and I'm going to time it for 5 minutes, and we're going to put it in the oven. Be right back. Okay, it's been 5 minutes, so we're going to give this a good stir, make sure none of it's sticking to the bottom. And then we're going to pour this into our greased 9x13, and I just sprayed some of the canola cooking spray on the bottom. And now this, I'm making just a basic recipe, but if you like spicy, you can add some jalapenos in here. You can add like a spicy pork sausage or just any kind of sausage if you want just a little bit more meat to it, a little bit spicier maybe. But again, I'm just making it kind of plain today because I don't really feel like spicy. But this is just a basic recipe. We're going to cover this. It's going to go in the oven for 25 minutes. And then we're going to pull it out and we're going to sprinkle our cheese on the top. Now, I'm going to be using a 4-state cheddar, but you can use any kind of cheese, your favorite cheese. So let me get this in the oven. It's going to go in the oven again at 350 for 25 minutes. It's been 25 minutes, excuse me, and I'm just going to give this a light fluff. And then I'm going to add my cheese to the top. As you can see, the rice is cooked. And it smells delicious, y'all. It really does. It's a simple meal. If you've watched me more than a minute, you know I believe if you got a can of cream of mushroom and the hamburger meat, you got you a meal. So again, I'm going to use the 4-state cheddar. You can use any kind of cheese you like. I just particularly like the way the cheddar tastes. So you're just going to sprinkle your cheese over the top. A nice cheesy layer. And you could put as much as you like, or, a little. Or no cheese, if you prefer, but, yeah. Now, this is going to go back in the oven uncovered for 10 minutes until the cheese is nice and brown and bubbly, and then it will be time to eat. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, and as you can see, the cheese has melted and has gotten all bubbly. We're going to let this rest for just a few minutes before I try to scoop it up. I also decided to make just a can of green beans, made them country style with onion, and bacon, salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic. So let this sit for a few minutes, and then I'm going to plate it up, and we will be ready to eat. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes, and I went ahead and plated it up. As you can see, you've got your beef, rice, you've got your cheese, you've got you some green beans to go with it. I forgot to grab a fork. Okay, I got me a fork now so I could taste it. So you get your nice cheesy. And again, you don't have to add the cheese, or you can add jalapenos. You can even put fresh vegetables in here if you like, you know, towards the end. I wouldn't do that until right before it was ready to go in the oven. That way you know, your veggies, if you're using fresh vegetables, they won't get soggy. Mmm. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy in my tummy, tummy time. If y'all have any questions, let me know. If not, enjoy, y'all.